Fantastic, Jared. I think we've met before, haven't we?
Yeah, we met, I forget how long ago, a couple months ago, 6 months ago, maybe.
Okay. So the ASU program is going strong. Have you compared notes with our new fearless leader on Kwan?
Have not yet.
So Anquan is a cardiologist and a first robotics coach, and he has been working with a number of groups on the e-NABLE Uganda project. And he and Manlin Zhang are sort of rethinking e-NABLE and sort of trying to take it, dust it off. And here's Manlin. Great. I'll give her a second to turn on there, right? Manlin, I was just singing your and Anquan's praises as I said, Jared, you should meet Manlin and Anquan. Jared, I'll let him introduce himself again. He's at
Perfect.
Arizona State University.
Yeah, I'm an associate teacher professor, and I run a program called EPICS, which is Engineering Projects in Community Service. There's a bunch of different universities that have EPICS, and we have a larger program with 80 projects. And about 4 or 5 of them right now are doing e-NABLE projects. So working with different people in the community on design, updates, testing, a little bit of everything. And we're always looking for new projects and opportunities to kind of have the students help with stuff.
That's so cool. It's great to meet you. Yeah, I've heard of EPICS. I'm actually a university student, so I was thinking of applying to one of those programs. So are your students more involved in design or sort of the typical enable process of producing an arm?
A little bit of both. What we typically do is we'll produce a hand or an arm for a child, and then we'll give it to them, and then we'll do some kind of customer discovery, like what do you like, what do you dislike, and then from there they'll kind of try to implement those improvements. Our class is 1 credit, so it's a slow process. They do about 3 to 5 hours of work per week. So our projects are usually multi-year, so we're not like a consulting group making new things every few months.
Yeah, if you're available, we'd love to schedule a meeting with you, hear more about what you're doing. I think Dr. Nguyen has taught a similar course at George Washington University. So you guys could compare notes. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. And it's summer now, but we're looking for projects for August and always opening to doing stuff together. So,
Jared, on a totally different topic, uh, your program is not just enable kinds of projects, but I imagine many of them do involve 3D printers.
yes.
I've become aware of a wonderful project done by high school students who are just graduating and going off to university. Um, they designed a 3D printed drone. And I'm really interested in a 3D printed drone that can be outfitted with a device like this, which has all sorts of environmental and acoustic sensors in it for use in the Eco Restoration Alliance. If you give me your email, I'm going to send it your way. I've also got another student who's been very interested in this, but he's having a little trouble with some of the printers and some of the materials. So it might be a great project for one or more of your teams.
Yeah, definitely. I put my email in the chat, but I can also just follow up. I have your
That'd
email
be
from
great.
the last time we met, and we can chat about it. Yeah.
Okay, Jared, good. Thank you. All
Both of
right, so
our presenters are here
terrific.
now. And just to let everyone know, we stream these meetings live on YouTube, and we record them in case other members who weren't able to make the meeting want to watch it later. So I just want to make sure that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, great. So we are recording now, and would you like to introduce yourselves?
Okay, yeah, I can go first. I'm Sasra Bonda, and I am the founder and operations director of Project Uplift.
And I'm Maytha Mitchpally, and I'm the co-founder and the chief of administration for Project Uplift.
And what is
So,
Project Uplift?
yeah, I know we're gonna get to that. All right, so I want to give like a quick rundown and like how Project Uplift came to be, and I'll explain what it is while I go through that. So I'm the one who came up with the idea, and uh, Maida's going to talk about like the events that we have planned for the upcoming year, and we did come up with some questions at the end that we want to ask you guys that could maybe like help us go with things. Anyways, I came up with the idea a while back, and this was shortly after I joined e-NABLE my sophomore year of high school. I'm currently a senior. Personally, I've been really interested in like engineering, and I discovered e-NABLE through social media, and I looked through the forum and the impact y'all have had, and it was just like really interesting to me. So following that, I went ahead and I created like the V3 Phoenix hand, and I was ready to start donating hands. But at this time, I would be actively browsing the forum, and I saw a lot of students starting chapters. And that's something I was really interested in. So I wanted to head and like take more initiative. However, when I looked through that, I needed like one of the requirements is that you needed an adult, and for the level that I wanted to like grow the chapter, I really needed a motivated one, and I simply couldn't find one. And I knew a lot of my friends related with the struggle, and during this process of me like trying to find an adult, I was talking to like a lot of my peers, and they found e-NABLE really interesting, and they themselves were interested in donating and assembling hands as well. And this made me think if there was anything that us like simply as high schoolers could do on our own. And that's when I came up with the idea for Project Uplift, where our goal is essentially just to hold workshops to teach volunteers and raise awareness through like handathons, what you guys call, and just other presentations or conferences around the topic and other like health or like war issues. The way our chapters and everything function is the way like a student could either start it at a club at their school, or they could just start it in the community. And when it came to donations or specific cases, the plan was that we would just connect them to people over the forum. In fact, we have like about 6 chapters running around, I believe, running right now, I believe, and like another like 5 that are upcoming. And we've had about 24 workshops overall. One of our side goals, aside from like holding workshops for people, is that we're also like trying to fundraise for specific e-NABLE chapters as well. A while back, I connected with like the Bangladesh head e-NABLE chapters, and they were telling me how they had like a list of recipients, but they didn't have a they didn't have enough money to fund for the filaments and things like that. So all our like projected fundraising efforts are going towards like fueling their filament, though I do need to double check if they're still running, because the last time I talked to them, they were a little finicky about it. But if that doesn't work out, we're going to just reach out to another chapter over the forum to see if they need like any funding for like a specific thing, or donating like hand kits per se. Again, we are essentially like a high school run organization, and it's almost like a proxy e-NABLE chapter just with high schoolers. And since we aren't like specifically an e-NABLE chapter, we tend to like explore other topics or like awareness issues such as wars that are going on, other biomedical devices that are really cool, health research, things like that. And you can see this in the events that we have planned for next year, but Maida's gonna go ahead with that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mayla Mitchpolly. I don't know if you caught that before. I am not very deeply integrated into the engineering part of our club, but I mostly manage things like fundraising and networking events. And a lot of my work focuses on helping Project Uplift grow and giving us more opportunities. So as we've expanded throughout the nation, I've been working on creating new chapters and the ones that we already have. So we have chapters spread across multiple schools in different states, and the main issue here is we're trying to keep our accomplishments in an area that we can all access them. So we are currently working on developing a website that can serve as an area for shared resources and a reminder for any of our events that are upcoming, so everyone from across the nation can join them and participate in them. So this website will have contact forms, event information, and just make it communities easier to access our initiative. We are also attempting to establish an international board, which would consist of members from our chapters across the world and eventually internationally. This idea stems from the global helping enable chapters reach and effectively support a wider scope of people and discuss issues. We're currently in communication with the
You passed through a dead
I-
zone, but you'll be back.
You.
Sahasra, where are you located?
I'm located in Texas, and so is she. So yeah, all of our like stuff currently is within Texas, but like our new chapters and things that we're trying to spread, we have like a couple
that
coming up
they have
in
a
Denver.
printer, but they lack
Oh,
to support that. Delaware, we have one in Delaware, Florida, and one coming in Pittsburgh.
Terrific,
yeah.
terrific.
Mhm.
You broke up for a minute, Maida. Do you know where you left off?
I was talking about the international board.
Yes, indeed. Go ahead.
Yes. So we want to find a way to help that
Maybe.
have resources but aren't able to fully utilize them. So across our resources can identify these issues and supply them with
So what I got is
funding
that
and money. And this would work as a way they would fundraise for themselves, address funding for themselves.
well,
Sorry.
that's great. Do you
And
have any kind of web presence at this time?
We don't have a great web presence right now, but we are working on growing our socials, and we are creating a website so we can have all our resources in one area for this reason.
Can one of you put links
And
to your social media sites into the chat?
Yes, I'll go ahead
yes,
and do that.
Sorry, Maida, go ahead.
and then I can about our project, which is going to be coming up in August. And it's going to be a community student-led 5K fundraiser where participants, which will mostly be high schoolers, will pay an entrance fee, which will go toward fundraising to join the 5K fundraiser. And we will offer them volunteer opportunities if they want to. And then we are contacting local businesses and nonprofits to get sponsorships for them for the runners. And we are hoping that they'd like to set up a booth at the 5K too, so they can sell things and donate a percentage of those earnings to us, so we could donate them to the Bangladesh chapter, and then have enough left over to kickstart our conference that we will be holding in March, around March 2027. Currently, for that conference, I'm to profess and University of North Texas, with the goal of partnering this event is to bring like-minded students together so they can share their ideas in ways such as presenting independent research projects and showcasing their prosthetic work. Me and Sahasra have done our own research in this field. She has a review paper, she co-wrote a biomedical devices paper. I plan to present a mental health paper related to athletic injuries that I worked on with professors at UNT, UTD, and Texas A&M, where I have these connections to try to co-host with them. And we have many peers who are willing to present their own research, and this would function almost as a youth TED Talk. I'm also attempting to get experienced industry individuals from different fields such as healthcare, business, and government as guest speakers so they can share their knowledge with the attendees. Again, but the biggest thing is we keep clashing into venue fees where it's a big problem, and that's why we're trying to organize a fundraiser that is school supported beforehand, which is the 5K. So we had to change our first idea, which was a booths organized event, into a 5K.
Yes, and I assume you guys, or like some of you guys, have at least like have some familiarity with David. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but it starts with an E. He's like currently leading the project with creating like the new like hand thumb prostheses. It's like the spring lock one. I myself have been helping with this in the past few months. Unfortunately, I've been a little busy like recently, so I'm not fully up to date, but based on the conversation I had with them like the other day, the model is essentially like being refined right now. and they're like finalizing spring choices and things like that. And this again would be like open source to enable. And this is something that I might myself discuss at the conference as well. But I think that wraps up what we wanted to say. Do you guys have any comments or questions before we ask our questions?
Well, my comment is you're doing very impressive work.
Thank you.
If you wish to be considered e-NABLE chapter leaders, you're doing this without an adult mentor? And that's sort of
No.
why, no, you
Mhm.
have an adult involved.
No. I was like agreeing with you as in we
Oh,
don't.
okay. Well, congratulations, because you're doing an extremely competent job. I don't know that you need adult mentoring, but I can tell you on good authority that there are adults who will be very interested in knowing what you're doing and offering help if they can do. My guess is that Manlin and Anquan will be following up because they are trying to identify sort of leaders and shining lights within the community and trying to coordinate them. So congratulations on that. What are your questions?
So let me look. I
So
made a list the other day. Oh, May, do you want to go ahead?
yeah, I can start with the questions if you want to look. So my main question, because I focus on events, our main problem right now is participation. Even though I'm able to reach a wide range of students through schools and the amount of chapters that I have, we still are not able to make enough students come to our events where we can hold a full-fledged conference right now. So my main issue right now is social media. If there is any idea, if you guys have any ideas on how to grow our social medias or communicate with local organizations to try and get them to advertise for us, I would love to hear those.
Well, when someone asks me a question about social media, I say you should talk to a young person and see what they think. So I'm not the right guy to ask, but I will say that I have downloaded an AI social media management package, which claims to be able to do that kind of thing. And I can send you a link to it. You're on mute right now, Maida.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
If you're using Claude or something along those lines, it might be able to help. There are e-NABLE chapters on social media, many of them, and it could be that if you post it to them and ask them to redistribute your message, and if you invited them directly, you might be able to get some representatives from other chapters in other parts of the country. Those are my only thoughts.
Okay, thanks. I'll definitely look into that. Do you think will the e-NABLE chapters will respond on Instagram if I DM them? Do you think?
You never know.
Okay, I'll
Hey,
definitely look into that.
I'm Romeo with the Atlanta chapter, and we'll definitely respond. Hi, John. And I just
Roman.
followed you, by the way. So we're at e-NABLE ATL.
Okay, I'll definitely DM you guys today.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Okay,
Other
so
questions?
yeah, workshop wise, like I don't know if y'all caught that earlier. Like our workshops are essentially just like handathons. And for right now, the way we're kind of doing it is we're like displaying the video on like a projector or a board or something, because most of these are at school, like during like school hours or like school clubs, right? And then and everyone just learns how to build the Phoenix V3 hand. And the volunteers who want to take on like cases or something, they're almost like responsible for it for themselves. We wanted to try like adding more diversity into like the workshops, like with different hand models, but we weren't really sure on how to do that or if it was a good idea, because I can see how it would like get complicated, but like what are y'all's thoughts on that?
The Phoenix is definitely it's the right one for a handathon. And when you say handathon, I assume you mean you've got all of the parts and all the ingredients, and people go through the process of building them. And I guess you've got all of the parts and the ingredients as part of your event. So congratulations for getting that organized. Um, the most impressive hand out there these days is the Kinetic,
Mm.
but it's not trivial. But it might be good for you to have one on hand, and so people can see how sophisticated they can become. The gripper hand is quite easy to assemble. It has only a few parts, and I think it's actually a very robust and useful design. So I would suggest that you take a look at that one. It would not complicate things a whole lot to have some gripper ingredients on hand and to let people put them together and to compare the functionality of a gripper versus a Phoenix. The gripper, as you may know, has two parts. It's got a hand part and a thumb part, and it's spring loaded, so it will hold on to things by itself. And in particular, if you have people who don't have the elbow motion needed to make a hand open and close, it can be very helpful. It's an easier thing to use. In fact, it's useful even for people who can move their hand around because you can have it holding things in more postures. So I would suggest that you look into the gripper hand.
I think I have like 1 sec. Let me like grab something real quick.
Okay, I can ask my next question while she's grabbing it.
Sure.
So
And
we
let me
have
say,
a few-
Manlin and Jared and Sarah, I don't have to be the only person answering these questions. Go ahead.
So I know we have a couple events coming up, which are more large scale, but if you guys didn't have any other ideas for conferences or events that we could hold on a more daily basis that aren't as large scale, for example, the workshops that we're already holding, but more added to it, that would be appreciated.
I think what you're doing right now, which is focusing on quality over quantity, is a good move. I just had one question about the conference. Is it online or is it in person?
So you could either Zoom in, which is what most of our which most of our other states will be doing, but if you're in Texas, it's recommended that you would come in person.
Got it. Okay. You're probably already doing this, but reach out to your local libraries and your city's youth commission to reach as many people as you can. And one thing that worked for me when I was in high school was emailing local engineering teachers at local high schools, get them to offer their students extra credit to come to your conference, and that might convince more students to come.
Oh, that's a really great idea, actually. Thank you.
Also, FIRST robotics teams are the kinds of kids who might be particularly inclined to get involved.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. That's really helpful. Thank you guys. I just wanted to like show off like this that I have like in the middle of my room.
I think that is a gripper hand. Nice.
Yeah, this is what I was working on with David about. Like this is like a model that
Oh, this is the new. All right, so slow down. I haven't seen David's device.
Yeah, this is from like a couple of months ago. So it's not like I do understand he made some changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to like show y'all that.
So that's great. So that warms my heart. I was involved in the design of the gripper hand, and I have always wanted one that was more natural and cosmetic looking. And it looks like it's really getting close. That's great. So what has been your role on that project? David's last name is Ellentuck. That's who you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I again haven't been like very like recently updated, but the part that I worked on was like this groove area here and just like the area where you put the spring in. And
Right.
he did send me like a bunch of springs to test to see, oh, which one would be the best. I believe they're all already down to their final choices, but that's pretty much what I've worked on. It's essentially just like the placement for the spring.
Well, that's
Yeah.
great. One of the things you can do with the workshop is beta test assembly instructions. So, for example, if you have David's device, my guess is that you haven't yet given instructions for how to put it all together. If you create those instructions, you give them to some adventurous volunteers at your workshops, and you take notes on where they fumble, that's really useful because, as you know, you want it to be smooth and easy. And the only way to come up with instructions and a design that is smooth and easy to do is to iterate, go through the process several times. And a hackathon is a good source of naive testers who haven't already learned how to do it.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. Thank you. I think
So,
yes.
have we gone through your questions?
I believe so.
I think
I
that's
think,
it. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I like the hackathon idea. Like it's a lot of people involved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
I
have
think you
one
guys are
last
doing
question. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, please. Go ahead, Madeline.
Sure. So all of your fundraising is for the one chapter in Bangladesh, is that right?
Yes,
Yes.
for now.
Okay, I would recommend talking to them a bit further, see if like filament cost is the only stopgap they have, because what I don't want you to do is donate like $4,000 to $5,000 to them and find out that they actually don't have enough volunteers to produce the arms to begin with, or
Mhm.
they haven't measured all the cases yet, or they're running into some other sort of issue. So definitely like make sure they have a plan for if you give them the 5K, like what will they do then? Yeah, just be wary of that. We've been working with a nonprofit in Uganda called the World Action Fund. And it's been a bit slow going on that end because even though we've sent them like the funds for fundraising, there are other issues that we need to resolve first, which is like what is the best arm for them to produce, things like that. If you'd like me and Dr. Nguyen to be on that call to supervise, give you guys advice, make sure you're asking the right questions, can you reach out? I'll send my email in the chat if you'd like to do
That
that.
sounds wonderful. Thank you. Well, I'll reach out. I'll email.
Yeah, my communication with again, like we right now we're like more focused on like fundraising the money and then then talking to them to give it to them because I did have like some prior communication with them. I was like, what do you guys need it for? Like what exactly? And they did have like a list of recipients and that they just needed money for the filament from what I'm gathering. But I do want to talk with them again because they haven't been extremely active per se. Like right now, because I asked them, are you still active? Because it was months after our previous conversation. They were like, right now, we're kind of laying low, but we do have the list. So I'm just like a little concerned on that end. But yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
It's
I
it's an
definitely
appropriate.
recommend. Go ahead.
Yes, it is an appropriate concern. Sending money overseas to people you haven't met is maybe a great way to help people who really need it. Maybe a great way to send money to people who figured out how to get money sent to them without a lot of accountability.
Yeah.
One of the things you might think about doing is working out an arrangement where they have to document the recipient before you send them a second installment, right? Because one of the challenges we have is we want to make sure that there are real people getting good devices uh, who are benefiting from this, and building that kind of accountability case by case is one of the approaches that I think is worth exploring.
And one thing to kind of add on the discussion, what we try to do with our international partners is see if there's a local university that's willing to kind of partner with us and help. So we've in the past like shipped to hand, and that's extremely expensive to ship it. And trying to figure out is there a way makerspace nearby or ideally a university so that for design changes we can send it to them, they can print it and then get them to the people and help with a lot of the translating and discussions and those things.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think she's
Okay,
just taking notes about what's
Yeah.
happening.
that's great. That's great. Romeo from Enable Atlanta, is it? I wonder if this is turning into a model chapter leaders meeting. We have several different chapter leaders. I wonder if you have any updates for us.
Yeah, sure. I was just listening to everything from Project Uplift. If they still have a couple more things to say, I'll let them finish. I do have some updates on my
Oh, I'm
side.
sorry. I thought thank you very much. I thought they had finished.
No, we're like done.
No, we're done. That's all.
All right then. All right.
So on our side, we are gearing up for our mission to Mexico. We've launched a GoFundMe to raise funds. And ahead of everything, we just already went ahead and booked our tickets to Mexico and are working on accommodations.
You have
And
to
also,
remind us. You have to remind us what your mission to Mexico is.
right. So we're going to be partnering with Ortopedia, I'm saying it in Spanish, Ortopedia Evomex, which is a local prosthetics office there that makes prosthetics. And they do primary leg prosthetics. And we do mostly arms. So we're going to have a cross collaboration of learning. So we're going to teach them and they're going to teach us. We're working on getting them a 3D printer at the same time too. So we're just looking into different avenues to get that done. And so we're going to stay there for 3 weeks from August 10th to August 30th. We've already sent, last Thursday, we sent nine different types of prosthetics, gripper arms, Kwawu arms, Phoenix arms. We wanted to do one of the Nick fingers, but we just couldn't get it done in time. So that should be there in about 3 weeks. And that gives us the opportunity to have the doctor there, Juan Vega, get his patients for the cases. We have several case files. I had 3 myself. He gave us different measurements for everybody, pictures and everything, which was pretty good for making the prosthetics themselves. And he's going to test them, fit them. He's pretty good at what he does technically. And so he'll be able to make the adjustments and give us some feedback on how they're fitting the patients and how they like it after the recipients try them on.
Fantastic.
And so we also plan to do, maybe after the fittings, maybe another 20, ideally, and see how that goes. But we want to get the first batch tested first. So we went ahead and did that. So our efforts are just on fundraising at the moment. We've did a couple campaigns on social media. We're handing out flyers. I just made a promo video yesterday talking about the mission. And we're just looking forward to the trip and just finalizing all the details. Well, not all the details, but securing all of our accommodations and planning it up and getting our flights taken care of, accommodation taken care of, possibly a car to get around because we're going to be going to maybe 3 different states in Mexico. Yeah. So it's going to be a long trip. We're going to learn a lot. There's going to be a lot to bring back home after this trip is done. And we're really looking forward to getting this done. So our main thing now is really just funding and finalizing a few details.
Fantastic. It should be great. I suggest that you bring all sorts of materials, if you can get it through the airplane, for repairing and customizing devices. Hopefully you'll be interacting with real recipients and you will inevitably find that they need some adjustments. So you're going to want to have your partners or you have plenty of duct tape,
Yep.
maybe a heat gun in case you need to thermoform, or actually better than a heat gun is boiling water in order to soften up the material so that you can do it. Padding, all the things that make for a really good fitting. And you'll learn from the prosthetist there a lot about fitting. I also would urge you to take lots of pictures and to give us a illustrated report when you get back.
Oh, we're going to do you one better. We're turning the whole thing into a documentary. So you've got me. Mike, hey, Daniela.
Hey, I joined the meeting. I'm on lunch right now.
Hello, Daniela.
So
well,
we
that's
have
fantastic.
Mike.
That's great.
And
so Daniela, are you going too?
Yes, we've been able to organize this. It's been awesome. We have I don't know if he mentioned that we have a couple of radio interviews when we go down there, and our prosthetist is awesome. So we're going to be doing a lot of the stuff outside of his house. And he turned his house into like this lab, and we're going to be there day and night. But outside, he fixed it up. He fixed his roof and all of that so that the patients can come and we can do rehabilitation there. So showing them how to use the prosthetics, but also not just doing like, with a documentary, we want to showcase the stories of the people, of the recipients, as well as showing the culture and identifying the need that 40% of people in Latin America have amputations. So if we're able to really showcase
that statistic can't be right. Say it again.
It's 40% of people in Mexico that have an amputation. 40%.
I hear you. I hear you.
Listen,
I've been to Mexico. You don't see half of the people walking around missing limbs. I think there may be something wrong with that statistic.
I'll find you the study and I'll send it to you because
Yes,
it was a
please.
study that yes, I will, because I was so shocked by the numbers as well. But it's because a lot of these amputees are in very rural areas where nobody goes out there to, they don't even get basic medical care. So a prosthetic is something that's like out of this world. Like even our own cases that we've had, they tell us, I didn't even know
Okay.
that this was a possibility. I didn't know something like this existed. I never thought I would be able to get a prosthetic. So the fact that we're able to do this now it's awesome. Like we've been able to partner with a couple of organizations. There's one that's really big one. It's called Teleton. And what they do, they're like this big charity event where you can call and they do interviews and all that stuff. And it's specifically for children with disabilities and all kinds of disabilities. And it's such a beautiful project. And the fact that we're going to be able to like go down there and promote all of this is so awesome. We're so excited.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. I look forward to hearing more about it. That's great.
And thank you so much for the
Romeo,
opportunity and talking to us. It helps a lot to be able to get some kind of feedback as well, some kind of guidance.
well, right. But notice that you're getting sort of the guidance from the community also.
Oh, yeah,
And the
definitely.
e-NABLE Hub is great for that.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Um,
So,
I'm
Sarah,
so sorry. That was a wonderful update. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this develops. The 40% statistic really, I had to go look that up. I would love to know where that information is coming from also because I could not find that. So
Yes, I'll find it.
I'm seeing this is for Mexico. This is just a quick search, but
all right. Well, Daniela
yeah,
will follow up. I have
I
a
don't
feeling
see. I would
there's
yeah, I would really love to see that. So
Yes, of
thank
course.
you. Yeah. Okay. Um thank
and
you.
Daniela and Romeo. I do want to caution you against setting expectations. These devices, as you know, are made by amateurs. It's fantastic that you're going to be talking to professionals. They often need customization, and there's a chance that they will break or even melt if there's a heat wave. So I find it very helpful to talk to the recipients and say, listen, you are co-pilots. Yeah, you're not patients, you're not customers. You're collaborating with us to help us figure out how to improve these devices and make them useful. And if there are things that they're not doing that you would like them to do, or if they're causing discomfort, you will make a real contribution if you give us the feedback. And that's really, it's good for them and it's good for you because it's very easy to convince oneself that everything is working great, and that prevents you from learning how to make it better.
Yeah, definitely understand that, John. I'm making a note of that.
That's great. That's great. Well, I'm very impressed by what you're all doing, and very pleased that you all came up and can compare notes with each other. Meda and Sahasra. Romeo,
Yes.
what institution are you at? Is it University of Georgia?
No, I'm not affiliated with any institutions at all.
Okay, so Romeo, I want to know more about your story. You probably told it before, but what's your backstory?
Well, for 3D printing, I started in 2020 making masks for one of my friends. Yeah, during that, he saw the whole thing from a mile away somehow. And so he taught me how to make masks, and that's how I got into 3D printing in the first
Oh,
place.
cool.
Yeah,
Do you have a
so
day job?
yeah, I'm a network analyst. So I
Interesting.
just make computers talk to each other, basically.
And e-NABLE ATL, that's Atlanta, right?
Yes, sir.
And how many are you?
We are 5 in total at the moment.
Fantastic. Do you have a website? Do you tell your story?
No, I was actually thinking about making a video for that, but we just have our Instagram at the moment, which is at e-NABLE ATL.
Listen, Instagram may be the way to go. In my generation, the website was the big was the necessary tool. I could use some help developing some of our Instagram activities as well, but that's all good.
Yeah, sure thing. Just you can contact me and we can work through that.
Okay, cool. Well, I know that Meda and Sahasra are trying to figure out social media. So the function of e-NABLE and the function of these chapter leader meetings, now you know who to reach out to for advice on social media and Instagram.
Sure. Yeah, they can always contact us. We're always ready to help.
That's
Thank
great.
Yeah,
you.
social media is where we're struggling, so thank you.
Yeah, it's tough, but once you get the hang of it, like really just recording what you have and just making you don't even really have to make content. You're just recording what you're doing anyways, and maybe spicing it up a little bit here and there. But it's definitely feasible with what you guys got going on for a project couple.
Romeo, can you put your Instagram URL into the chat?
Yeah, sure thing.
And while I'm here, I'm going to share my screen, if Sarah will let me.
You should be able to share.
Thank you. And now I have to find the chat. And first, we're going to look at Project Uplift's Instagram page.
It's not very developed. We're actually like archiving posts right now because we're trying to figure out how it goes.
That's
But
okay. You've got officers, you've got chapter applications, you have your current chapters, you're getting there. Okay, cool. And Romeo's e-NABLE ATL. Here we go. Now this is how it's done, Romeo. Nice. Restoring function, rebuilding lives. Is that your phraseology?
That's Daniela's.
Daniela, it's good for you, Daniela. Here he is. First shipment of e-NABLE prosthetics to Mexico. Building another hand for donation. Oh, this is great material here. And is that what design is that? A kinetic? A kinetic?
That's the other NIOP arm I'm going to build as a demo.
Oh, really? Okay. So you're using the NIOP. That's
Yep.
as you may have seen, I tend not to recommend the NIOP because I've heard that the assembly and the durability is not great. But have you worked with it before?
Yes, I built one before and it was delivered, but I didn't get any feedback from the recipients of it. Let me see the state president of DIF, which is kind of like Mexican social services, he saw it and he wanted one made for their
Okay.
office. So I'm going to build it and present it to them as a gift.
Well, that's great. And it looks beautiful. But you might want to warn him about functionality. Right? These
Yeah.
things, they serve a number of purposes. They can be good prosthetics. They can be good sort of demonstration pieces for saying, look what you can do with a 3D printer. This one has certainly makes that qualification. You and he should also look at the kinetic arm and think about the emerging device that David and Meta are working on. Does that new device have a name yet?
I believe not. I think he
I
sent
believe not
out
also.
like the last email that I saw, he sent out asking suggestions for names, but I'm not sure.
Cool. Okay. Looks great. Okay. Do we have other topics of conversation for today? Manlin, do you want to say a little bit about what you and Anquan are cooking up and how you're thinking about the next generation, as they say on Star Trek?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're long overdue for a conversation about the future roadmap of e-NABLE. I know Dr. Nguyen really wanted to be there, so I think it was in our plans to schedule a separate meeting with some of the key players of e-NABLE. Is that right, to discuss it? So yeah, I'll send that email to you all soon. But just to give a brief overview, we talked to Evan Blackman, who's sort of taking care of the finances of e-NABLE, to understand, that side of it. We talked to David Ellentott, who you all are familiar with, to understand how we could grow the R&D arm. But our main priority right now is just going to be building a website hub very similar to actually 3D mobility, which inspired a lot of us, so that volunteers can get signed up and makers can find it recipients can find it very easy to upload their measurements and get connected with makers. So that's going to be the #1 priority. And our internal deadline for that is the end of July. So we hope to have a bigger update for you by the next chapter leads meeting.
That's great. Manlin and Anquan, it's probably taken a year to sort of wrap your heads around the e-NABLE ecosystem. But you're doing it, and I really appreciate the diligence and the time you're putting into it. I think you will agree, based on, for example, this meeting, that you have a lot to work with and that it is all over the damn place.
Yes.
And so, trying to figure out how to re-gear it and reshape it is a terrific mission for you guys. And I'm very happy that you're doing it.
Yeah, it's really heartening to see so many autonomous arms of e-NABLE doing their own thing. Is a great word choice. So our goal is really just to support you guys, make sure you have a structure to work in. So yeah, again, reach out if you have any questions, Project Uplift, because we'd really love to help you.
Great.
Thank you for that.
I'm open for other topics. I'm also open to declare victory on a really nice and inspiring chapter leaders meeting. All right. Thank you all. Congratulations on what each and every one of you are doing. It's very heartening. And have a great trip, Romeo.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you for all
Good
the
luck.
advice too.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
You,
Bye.